This is going to be a really exciting match. Obviously, EDG, the #1 seed out of China, Dre, playing in their home studio, but also starting off on Sunset is fascinating. I believe it was Mimi who mentioned it on the desk. Heretics have already beat 2 Chinese teams on this map, 13-4, 13-5, or 13-3, 13-4, something like that.
A stomping, and that was mainly because of Woot. He just had his way with both those teams, and I mean, he's going to go for a three-peat right here, but they are going to be starting on the defensive side against this double controller composition. Now, EDG, they normally run the Viper instead of the Astra, but I imagine we're going to see some very similar ideas of basically trying to get that elbow control at A, and then depositing alert, you know, and maybe going back, funneling players towards mid, trying to manipulate a rotation.
It feels like the first time a team has had the opportunity to pivot away from the Viper comps that they normally run, given the fact that they come in as a #1 seed. You know, a little bit more time in the lab to figure something out. We'll see if it pays off, as EDG is on the attacking side. And they've got Kong Kong with light armor and a classic.
And it has to be a slow approach for EDG because there's so much info utility out of the side of Heretics. You want to bait it out like they're doing right now, and then just stabilize the round and try to find an opening when those items are on cooldown.
A flurry of bullets going across the middle of the map, and a couple of members have taken damage. 3 on the side of EDG, a little bit worse for wear. But they have turned their attention towards A. There is some presence from the defensive side. Woot and Boo are here, with Rian's not too far off.
He tucked the Gecko Flash. Woot is free.
Oh, it's so effortless for Woot in that position. He even spotted Kong Kong on the third, dealing a little bit of damage, not getting the kill.
Oh,
now coming through, 3 on the round.
30 seconds
You mentioned
left.
how good Wu was in the last 2
remaining.
matches against Chinese
Spike
squads on this
down
map. He hasn't missed a step.
yeah. The skill level of Woot is off the charts right here. I mean, he gets 4 to secure the round on Haodong. And EDG going into this round, they did a really good job of baiting out some of those rechargeables, but I mean, Woot, I don't know if it was prep or what, but on that default box at A, I mean, he was able to tuck away from the Gecko Flash and not be seen at all. And I mean, no one's going to be looking there because it didn't connect. And then after this, I mean, he's just hitting some nice shots.
Nice.
Beautiful.
Let's go, baby. Come on.
And the handshakes are coming out in the first round. An excellent start for the #2 seed from EMEA.
Yeah, he's 3 off a Raze ult as well.
They're giving him a Guardian full armor too.
Jeez, it could be so deadly in the hands of Woot. It will be early A control for the defending side, and for the opposite, just a slow walk into B main. But Bomb is all the way in mid.
Yeah, that's scary.
And there's a Cypher trip that should be ahead of this. Doesn't get broken quite yet.
Benji Fishy is watching that way. The spike rotating back towards main. And Benji the first to take contact. Nade invested in his direction. But EDG have funneled out onto the site. They've taken a lot of the space. They've even gotten Smoggy really far up, playing in the smoke.
Spike planted.
But Pat attack over the top, not able to connect onto the second.
It's scrappy.
One enemy remaining.
But it seems to be slowing down.
What was that from Smoggy?
He's gonna have to 1v2 with the classic to win this one out. And he's not gonna be given much of a shot. Heretics will get their second. Woot, off of that, is gonna have his ult online in the 3rd round.
And that's the perfect round to have a showstopper because,
Yeah, it's perfect.
yeah, I mean, this is going to be the first full buy for EDG. If it's a nice setup play for Woot, I mean, maybe off of a cam or even some other utility that we've seen them do, like through a smoke, maybe with a dart, you can really destroy EDG's economy and potentially snowball this game out of control on the defending side. And also, Heretics have done a really good job of taking A space early on and pivoting to the top mid area and kind of just trying to re-clear that entire area, fighting. They're seeking those fights out. So they're very proactive so far on their defensive side. And this is what I was talking about. You might see a rocket play off of the Cypher camera.
You can tell he's gonna want to go. He has nothing but a ghost.
Yep.
Full armor. Nothing to lose here.
It's so smart to do that too because he doesn't need that Guardian on this side of the map if he has that showstopper.
Yeah.
Why not give it to somebody that's playing on A, and that's Patatek, who, by the way, he's been great with his mechanics. I mean, all tournament long. He's been hitting some really nice headshots. It will be a slow approach for EDG, and honestly, for all the viewers out there, get used to this. Early on in the matches on Sunset, they like to play this way. They like to play slow, bait out utility, see what they can do, see what they're working with. And then they transition
Yeah.
in the middle of the half and start playing more aggressive, and they change the pace. That's something EDG is really good at doing, but that camera,
Oh, it's gonna split it. Not connecting or anything. Remember, it was just a ghost on the other side.
yeah.
Wingman will go out, or at least try to. Not tagging on anyone as a spike has not made its way past the threshold. Kong with 2 kills. Chi-Chu weak, but a little bit of space for the attack. A nade in his hand too.
And Patatek right now, he's just waiting for Boo to link up with him and potentially start the retake.
30 seconds
But
left.
Kong, oh, the nade misses, so he's gonna have to hard clear the close left.
Hitting an awkward little crevice.
That's unfortunate. So Omen Flash will be the cue for the retake. Patatek gets the entry. I spoke about how he's so good at one-tapping players.
down, B.
And all of a sudden, that freeze that EDG did, it's working against them.
Smoggy has to tank, tries to get the spike, and he will fall. The bonus the way of Heretics. What a start.
That was a huge impact from Benji to get that trade in B main after Whoop missed that showstopper. But yeah, I mean, we saw in full effect what giving the gun to Patatek does in this scenario. I mean, he made full value of it. And I like EDG's approach of slowing down the round, waiting for a mistake from Heretics, but the time just clocked down too low, and it ultimately worked against them.
I mean, they hard froze.
Yeah. And all of a sudden, just like that, you're on another eco round. There will be stingers in full
they're all
effect,
here.
though.
They're all here, and it's all messy.
Spike
Kaodong's the
down,
only
A.
one who has found success as Heretics shut the door on EDG once more.
One suppressed.
I mean, Wu is just the linchpin of this team of Heretics on this duelist role. And yeah, he said that he feels a lot of the pressure, and that makes sense. Much like how Patatek felt the pressure at Chi-Chu right here.
But you wouldn't believe it watching the kid play.
Yeah, exactly. It's just, I mean, he's ice cold. If that's what he's like being nervous, I can't even imagine what he's like when he's not.
Yeah. What does it look like when he's confident?
The lad is mad. And right now, EDG, they're going to have to re-clear all their spawn. They're worried about a flank from Benji Fishy.
Yeah, he could be anywhere at this point. There hasn't been any info gathered.
And the cool thing about this situation is that I think he also has a cam that sees the mid walk-up from B, so they don't really have to play on this B site at all.
Yeah.
They can just play the disciplined game, play together.
30 seconds
I mean, both
left.
these players of EDG are sitting at 5 HP apiece. I mean, that's not something you see every day. I don't know
No.
how they're so synced up like that. But the IGL of Haodong, he's going to have to try to do anything they can to win this round.
Planted the spike. My ultimate is ready.
And I imagine it's just going to be so hard. I mean, Rians has Sova Dart, he's got the drone, he's got 2 shocks. I mean,
Yeah, a lot of advantages, Wavy,
oh,
of
Last player
the
standing.
defense here. Rians cleans up the 2 that remain in pretty effortless fashion. Now he's going to get the defuse and his ult online for the next round. Heretics have started off masterfully. I mean, they've got plenty of money. They're going to have, they've already had 1 ult in Woots. Now they're going to have Rians to play around as well.
here's that replay of Woot just running through the smoke, helping his teammate Boo out, who got Omen flashed early in that round. I mean, he almost went down right there, but the stinger shot's just not able to connect. Benji Fishy is vibing right now. So nice to see.
Early timeout called from after. Given that they're down 4 rounds, it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
See what adjustments have to be made.
Yeah, and they have to. I mean, there's a lot of pressure on EDG as well in this match because Heretics is the team that took down their brothers. They took down both the Chinese teams that, I mean, EDG beat, so they have to kind of be like that big brother and help their little bro out. But so far, I mean, it's just been the Woot show. 7-2. I mean, Rian's cleaned up that last round, and that'll put him on a showstopper. I mean, sorry, the Hunter's Fury.
Yeah.
He's wrong character.
I mean, and Boo hasn't even died yet. It's just looked really good out of Heretics early on. I think obviously not phased, not concerned about who's playing on the other side of the stage. They look really comfortable. They look great.
And this is kind of to be expected. This is Heretics' map pick. EDG, the last time they played it, I mean, I think they may have won it in overtime. It was like 16-14, but it wasn't pretty at all. And right now, I mean, the Viper is kind of maybe would have been better for EDG with the way that I've seen them play it so far. I mean, you don't have that value of putting the wall up, dropping it, and being able to lurk up, walk up on a timing.
It's just so tough to say.
Yeah. They're trying to set it up, though.
Yeah.
They're trying to set it up with the Astra one-way here on the left side. But, I mean, we saw Woot just completely disrespect it.
Right.
Granted, it was an eco round, so, I mean, maybe he would have gotten punished on a gun round.
Careful.
But
My guess is that's not the last time he's going to try to push that smoke the way he did.
yeah, and look, I mean, Heretics already instantly backing off of A, ready for, like, a mid-crunch.
Nobody with this Thrash online. They're going to have to deal with some of the Cypher util again.
But this is why you see Heretics playing off the site. They don't want that Thrash to get value.
Right, and they have Rian's ult.
Yep.
So as soon as they realize where the hit is, he can just pop that thing.
Yeah, I wonder if they decide to flood in. Ooh, that knife hitting.
I think that was intentional.
Mm-hmm.
So nobody gets tagged by the knife to suggest they're staying B, and you see it on the minimap, they're all rotating back A.
Yeah, it keeps a couple players from Heretics.
Yeah,
staying.
exactly.
There's no rotation towards that A site. This should be a free hit, potentially even a kill, a punish on the Boo here, who hasn't dropped yet.
That noise should be cute. Instantly, Woot starts to rotate back.
30 seconds.
And now the Thrash invested, you see him funneling away, giving the space. Boo not wanting to reckon with that. Manages to avoid it. No tech's found. And now the Hunter's Fury from Spawn. Boo spotting Kong Kong, swatting him out of the sky.
The time, Doug.
Again, becomes a factor with 10 seconds left. They haven't really made it out of elbow yet. Woot's still trying to dash around, trying to dance around, staying alive at least for a little bit longer, but ultimately falling with 3 seconds left. Are they going to be able to get the spike down? They will.
Planted.
About a second was the difference. And now 4v3, the way they attack. Heretics patient with their approach, patient with the attempt at a flood. Benji will fall. Patatek and Boo left in a 2v4. An ult still at the disposal of EDG for Chichu in case it's needed. But they're just so comfortable with this. EDG are on the board.
Yeah, and at the end there for the post plant, I mean, EDG set up a perfect crossfire, making it nearly impossible to break through.
Right there.
And that came down to the wire, but they're so clutch in these moments. Not a doubt in their minds that they had the time to go for this. And that entry, I mean, that was so clean onto Rians. That was everything. So finally, EDG will get on the board and have a chance to string some rounds together. Kong Kong is sitting on a showstopper. Chichu does have that Astral ultimate. But Woot is already doing a walk down mid.
There's the ult. He's kind of on his own here. Separated really far. I don't think the knife is going to tag much. I think that was also really conditioned with how Woot continues to play back box.
Yeah.
Kong Kong guessing that's where he was going to be.
Yeah, why not clear it? I mean, he's gotten so much value in that spot. All map long so far.
Yeah, it doesn't connect, but the space has been cleared. Now EDG with a bit of an advantage.
What a good molly.
Yeah,
And a nade.
gosh, both of them. Nobody unable to survive the spam. Incapable of staying alive. Kong Kong playing up close as the cage goes down, so does he. EDG again have been picked apart. So it's a 2v4 though. If they can settle, they've got it close, but Smoggy and Haodong fall at the worst time.
That was a very convincing retake for Heretics. I mean, yeah, there's only 2 players alive, but the initial fight, that initial exchange against the 4 players in that A lane, it just went their way. Their spacing was perfect. The trades were on point. The utility to flush out a kill for Boo in the beginning, and then he's just sitting on top of that box that could see over the smoke. Very well played from Team Heretics on that retake. Especially with how the last, retake went. EDG had such good crossfires this time. Not exactly a crossfire onto that lane area.
Oh, I think you're right too. You mentioned the spacing and how good it looks for Heretics. Even in that fight as the cage goes down, the ability to trade every single member in case it got messy.
And as an attacker on this map, now you have to be worried about all that discipline. It like kind of soaks into your brain. You're like, oh, if I really do go for a random peek, there's gonna be 2, maybe 3 guys holding me.
It's kind of hamstrings the way you want to approach a situation. Cosmic Divide invested B.
Oh, they're ready to fight this though.
They're getting ahead of it too. They've got the dart, they've got the cage to cover and then spam if anything connected, but nothing through. Spike's still planted though. They've invested Patatek's ult, but they're playing so close that Shock is up close and personal. 2 members of EDG fall. Chichu and Nobody trying to hang on to the round. It's just Nobody who's here. Chichu's gonna be on a really late flank. Nobody has to play his life and he can't. There's just not enough time. There's not enough space. The defuse will come through without a challenge.
It was the moving death ball approach from Heretics that secured them that round. And yeah, the showstopper doesn't connect from Woot. But I mean, that Cypher ult, that was everything. You just spam Nobody through the smokes, doesn't matter where he is. Yeah, he had nowhere to play. And right here, I mean, Rian's got away with murder with that little wide swing.
Dude, I don't know how.
He just broke the crosshairs of EDG in that moment.
And then let Benji Fishy and Patatek clean it up.
Yeah.
Feels like they shouldn't have gotten away with it, but 5 rounds now separating these two. EDG have found the tiniest sliver of success, but other than that, it's been all Heretics all the way.
And they've tried a lot of different looks. I mean, you've tried doing a fast A default. You've tried slowing the round down, feinting that you're going A, and then going back to mid. Then you've done B main hits, so like nothing is working right now for EDG.
Here.
And that's mainly because Heretics, I mean, they're playing the map so well. They're proactive after they take A space. Boo is just living on A. He gets out of the site. The only real success EDG has had was with this Thrash towards the A side of the map. That's why you see them funneling here again. Oh!
Almost.
He almost got the timing.
And he's still going to take a little bit of nade damage. The plant got interrupted. It's going to be on Nobody to pick it back up and try a second time.
He still has that Thrash, though, for the post plant.
Yeah. And they've managed to create enough space, so even if he wasn't able to fully commit to the plant, Wingman wasn't. Now they can
Here we go.
Move a little bit more. Thrash going in forward. Howdong the first to fall. Nobody trying to swing through smokes. He's going to spot 2, but only able to connect on 1. 3v3 for the round. TP invested by Smoggy. Where is he going? Just enough to create a distraction. Konkon feeling a lot of the pressure. Able to get another kill with 36 HP. That's all he'll find. Rians is healthy. 2 on the other side. He's already spotted the hand of 1. Not able to land the shots.
Double swing, Shirley.
Yeah, such a tough position to be in. They're going to face him here. He's gotten it to half. 9 bullets left, though. Even if they try, time is just not on his side. EDG play that beautifully. Chichu gets 3 as EDG find their second.
And that's the second beautiful post plan on that A site that secures EDG around. They play those crossfires so well. This time, in that A lane, the trades go into their favor and make it a 3v3. And, I mean, you saw at the end there, there's just too many angles to look at. The whole time, Chichu was just playing in the back here, just toying with Rians. That's a very disciplined post plan. I really like that from EDG. Those are good signs. If they can emulate that on the B side of the map, they might have success there too.
All right. Really high flash with Blue taking space and the Dizzy over the top to try to keep it back, but it got cleared instantly.
That pickup star, it might be conditioning for future rounds. Maybe you'll see some players behind it the next time you see that. Try to catch off Woot or Boo, get a kill, and then that'll open up the entire map for EDG. But this time around, that slow approach that we've seen in the first couple rounds of the half.
But even then, you know, you talked, Dre, earlier about how they have tried a number of different looks. They've tried being aggressive, they've tried the more slow, defaulty look. Even this, while it's a little bit slower, much like we've seen in some of the earlier rounds of the half, the way they're exploring the map is different.
Yeah, they are. I mean, it's a change of pace for sure. And I mean, the success that they had was, I mean, the 2 rounds was off of that Thrash. But it's like the rounds where they don't have the ults where it kind of just falls apart for them.
Right. You mentioned that they need to try to find some success B because it's look good on A. Can they do it here?
30 seconds.
They do
Before
get
leaning towards the site, you see the utility already dumped down, but Benji Fishy playing back site, getting 2.
Standing ahead.
This is going to be such a tough thing to hold to 3v5.
I don't think they know that Kongkong's in this spot though. And nobody's in market, so Kongkong needs to go huge here for EDG.
The paranoia traded. Kongkong, oh, he's able to get 1, but the clip runs dry. He's not able to connect anymore. Benji Fishy with 3, Chichu left alone. The lack of success on B continues. Chichu's able to get his one. Rien's holding the defuse all the way. Benji Fishy with 4. Heretics continue to roll.
That's all because of the disruption that Benji Fishy and Rien's had on that initial B hit. You don't expect just a Sova and a Cypher to do stuff like this. I mean,
Planted.
you had full utility on the site. You have all 5 players alive. The bomb is going down, and all of a sudden you're being faced with this fire of Benji Fishy and Rien's. Heretics, their game plan is to disrupt, not allow it to go into that 5-on-5 post-plant scenario. Because that's where the double controller shines. I mean, you can delay so many lanes and kind of cycle the utility. And if EDG baits out early utility from Heretics, I mean, they might not have even a flash to run through those smokes. So
Yeah.
that's what they're trying to set up. This time it will be a walk into elbow, but if Kong decides to walk up here without using utility, he's going to be met by a judge. Should be a couple 1-pumps here, but I imagine they might use something.
Nothing. They're using nothing other than their bodies. Kong somehow manages to get his one. The Patatek on the trade. The timing is beautiful. The swing is almost perfect.
Bomb buddy out.
Even with him getting away with just one with the judge. I mean, Heretics are just, they're just destroying EDG on this half, man.
That follow-up utility off the contact of Boo, that was some of the most clean stuff I've seen.
The flash, the molly, I mean, the dart. It was,
and it was in tandem, right? It was like, off of Woot's contact, we have a right-click flash out of Potty Tech. Not only do we have that, but Rien's has a lineup dart that lands in the back of elbow, and then he's able to go for even more with another right-click. I mean, this was beautiful. Oh, it tags! That's what happened?
Tragic.
The dart tagged Kong. I didn't even see that. That is definitely tragic. I was wondering if he had like a lineup dart or something. That will be the second timeout for EDG. They're gonna have no more going forward. And you kind of have to. I mean, 8-2 is a very decisive and convincing lead for Heretics. But just to remind everybody, this is not EDG's map pick, and they did switch it up. This is the first time that they've ran an Astra over the Viper on this map, and maybe that is playing a factor. They're just not used to playing it in a match setting.
Maybe. They've had a couple of cool ideas. You mentioned some of the recalled smokes, but yeah, it's been really tough for them to find success, and I think we can attribute some of that to the comp change, but I think the big takeaway here is Heretics just continues to dominate on Sunset. We mentioned earlier, they've bested the other 2 Chinese teams that are playing in this tournament, and now they're having their way with EDG as well.
And a big part of that is the anchor players for Team Heretics. They kind of allow the rest of the players to be enabled and do a lot of stuff on the retakes.
It's like they're running into a brick wall every single time they try to hit a site.
Yeah.
And the brick wall is sometimes it's Rien's, sometimes it's Benji Fishy, sometimes it's Woot. Like,
See you on the other side.
You kind of have to invest a lot of utility on these early chokes to get up with the comp of EDG. And the way that Boo plays this A side of the map where he's consistently just jump peeking and then backing up, delaying you with the Omen flash, and this time he's going to get aggressive. I mean, all these things play a factor of him not getting punished and baiting out your own utility.
A big round here for the attack. 2 ults online, 2 within 1 point. Patatek getting a lot of info mid there.
So confident. And that proactivity, I mean, it makes you have to just seize and just wait. Makes you rethink how you want to approach the round. The thing is off of that first layer of utility, EDG don't go back up mid. And Heretics kind of give it. So they don't have a read on what Heretics is really doing after that first set of delay utility.
The nade to clear the trip, the satchel forward, but Benji Fishy again has not been cleared now. Going down at the hands of Chichu. The rocket not going to connect either. So Hunter's Fury has been invested by Rien's. Woot playing further back. Unfortunately having to watch as Kong gets the best of his teammate. But they're still keeping him back. Instantly on the trade, a 2v2 as the nade comes back out. How do Patatek and Boo get back in on this? The Paranoia only connecting on 1. Smoggy over Kong's shoulder, delivers the shot. Leaving Patatek alone, a 1v2, a tap of the spike, the swing coming through. Not able to connect on the shots. Kong with 3 as EDG get there as well.
Kong hyping up the crowd with that 3K. Brought his team back into it. Heretics did a good job of re-clearing the lurk in mid. But the answer back from Kong, that was huge. Look at this right here. Nice shot on the Woot. And then Smoggy, this kill right here to support Kong, who was completely Omen flashed. Nice work from EDG.
Last round of the half, 3 ults on the side of the attack.
And they have a Thrash. They're 2 for 2 on Thrash round wins right now. EDG do a really good job of using that first Thrash ult and then picking it back up and using it for even more value. And not only on a map like this, but other maps in the future. It's something to look out for if you're Team Heretics. They like to take initial space with it and then pick it back up, maybe go somewhere else. Something that they've done a lot. And this is another showstopper trap, but this time, Howdong, he's way ahead of it.
Meanwhile, they invest the Thrash and the Paranoia on the other side, feeling some of the pressure coming in on one side, filling in on the rest of the map. Kong has already gotten all the way up into elbow.
And here it is, he's able to pick up the Thrash again and have it for the post plant.
The thing is, they don't have the Paranoia to clear out the box. So they're gonna have to try to get through that. They got lineups, but it bounced a little bit off the mark.
You want more? Here's more.
Still tucked behind the Cosmic Divide. Patatek will get tagged, but not without taking one with him.
One enemy remaining.
Leaving Wood in a 1v3. Wood, who started off the half in electric fashion, is gonna have to close it, bookend it, if he wants to win this thing out. Otherwise, EDG will get to 4.
Oh, this nade will have Kong have to peek.
That's heat-seeking, but Kong gladly takes that swing. 3 on the round for Duelist as EDG salvaged the first half.
Yeah, 4 rounds. I mean, with the way that it was looking for Heretics, they were up, what, 8-2? So they definitely salvaged the half, and that was off the back of Kong. Who else? Who other than Kong? Beautiful play on this site. And even in the post plants, even if Kong drops there, you imagine that Howdong and whoever else was on site, I forget who it was, would just play that discipline. EDG are a very disciplined team in these scenarios.
Kong popping off, getting the crowd back into it. As you mentioned, EDG have gotten all the way up to 4 rounds, and it's been in the best that Heretics has been able to throw. We've got Mika standing by with Chinese professional basketball player Guo Ailun.
We have another special guest in the audience right now. We have Guo Ailun, who is a professional basketball player. Thank you so much for being here. What does it feel like seeing esports and gaming on a stage like this in Shanghai?
想首先请问一下，觉得在上海线下观看我们的电竞比赛，来到我们的5位竞技场，感受怎么样呢？
开心、热血，为什么呢？因为这是一项国际项的大赛啊！因为很高兴就看到这么多来自世界不同国家的顶尖的5位契约选手聚在上海，然后这个城市，这个热情的城市，我觉得让我现在自己来说也替他们非常的高兴和热血沸腾啊。
I was really happy and feel the passion about the, it's an international tournament. Also, all of the top players from all of the leagues, and I feel like deep in my heart, I feel so happy for them.
Oh, that's so wonderful. And of course, as an athlete as well, what is your mentality going into a big competition like this? What is the advice that you can give these players?
那想请问您，作为一位职业选手，您是以什么样的心态再去面对各种世界性的赛事呢？以及有没有一些助言和建议能给到我们的职业选手呢？
参加这种国际的比赛，跟国外的顶尖选手对抗，他们肯定心里或多或少说上场之前有一些紧张嘛，然后带着我们这些国人的粉丝的期待嘛，然后我希望他们能我在场就是可能就是把自己尽量想的简单一些，然后不要心里有那么多杂念，然后就是去上场以后放松着去干这件事儿，不要想着后果，也不要想着自己是谁。放下所有的包袱，要这样才能发挥出所有的自己的能力吧。希望他们，我希望给他们没有谈不上建议吧，希望就是让他们像平常训练一样放松一些，来面对这次比赛，不要给自己的结果设更多预想，然后就会顺其自然发挥到出自己最好的水平，结果就会顺其自然的好。
I think when you faced against all of the top players from all of the league, you have to be like nervous. But from my perspective, I think when you participate in international tournament like this, you need to like just take it easy. Don't think too much. Just play as good as you play as Euro, and I think you will play good.
Well, thank you so much for your time, Teased, and let's get back to the game.
还有一个问题没问呢，你告诉他。齐家我再抢点镜吗？快开始了吗？没有问题，没有时间问我了。
你想说可以直接跟大家分享一下吧？
啊，其实还有一个问题准备好，他们问我什么时候是最让我激动的时刻，然后我都已经想好，如果今天唯一代表现在我们中国的战队 EDG 夺冠那天是我最激动的时刻，我希望大家一起等着那天到来。
Oh, what an entry into the second half. We'll see if they're able to carry that momentum. EDG down 4, but now on the defensive side as Heretics will have to test their mettle. Again, a map that they have found so much success on. Forced to close this one out.
And this is a big test. I mean, you said it, Doug. Momentum. This pistol round is everything to see if it truly did shift in EDG's favor after closing out those last 2 rounds of the half.
Heretics haven't made very much noise this round at all.
They did dart B early on and get info there. And that's what ended up leaving 3 players of EDG there. So this A hit that comes in for Heretics, this could be really deadly.
It's the only bit of noise they made. The smoke goes up. Really right on time. Nobody's going to be paranoid. Trying to dance around it. Still getting a shot. The frenzy connecting. But Heretics have gotten all the space they could possibly want. Kong falling as well as Chichu's on the swing.
Good timing. Omen flashed.
But the flash on the other side. Whoa, Chichu still gets 3. The pistol the way of EDG.
Full steam ahead was Chichu. He found the timing. He slipped the net. And then he swings onto sight with that beautiful Omen flash from Smoggy. What a setup for Chichu. And even at the end there, when Paditek gets unflashed, the poise on Chichu, the confidence, it's back, baby.
There's that paranoia that you were mentioning.
Look at that.
Yeah. Woo. The first one was free. The second one was steady.
It's a hell of a start to the half for EDG. And it kind of felt like they needed that.
3 Bulldogs, a pistol, and a Spectre for EDG. They're all here.
Oh, baby.
1 burst, 2 kills. Now 3 remain for Heretics.
That's everything you want out of the Bulldog. Scoped in kill, that little burst shot. So nice, and they're just not stopping at all. Kong and Haodong, the IGL. Everybody cleaning up the round with Bulldogs. Super healthy going into this next round. I wonder if Smoggy even tries to invest here. All he used was a ghost in that round. And the cool thing about this composition that EDG are running, the double controllers, you have a one-way coming out at A, you had a pickup star in B main. And yeah, Heretics checked that B main smoke. But 2 players of EDG were just right behind it, waiting for the walk-up.
You were wondering whether or not Smoggy would invest because all he had was a ghost. They will buy full armor and a guardian.
They have a very good chance of at least damaging the economy of Heretics here.
Flash dart combo, a little bit of space, take an elbow.
Oh, they're fighting
But Smoggy
together.
and nobody, one over the other. And it's a 1-for-1. Managing to TP to get away. Meanwhile, Kong satchel to get back towards A, so he's not going to have that as the rest of the round goes on. Still has room to play around, though, as he has quietly slipped. Back box. Getting tagged by his teammate Paranoia, but finding the right time to swing and landing the shots too. 8 bullets left though, 18 HP. He's been surrounded, too many targets to choose from. And Haodong left in a 1v3.
The trades were perfect for Heretics. Kong, I mean, he almost had that one. Now it's all left down to Haodong in this 1v3, the IGL. And he has a trip in front of him too. 2 players of Heretics are low though.
See if he tags onto any of them. He's arrived with enough time to think this one through, but I mean, you painted a really good picture. The trip, the fact that there are 3 on the other side, he's by himself. Would be so difficult to connect on, and then the paranoia timing from Boo is just so nice. As soon as the smoke goes down, he realizes if they're going to be pushing from that side, the paranoia would connect. Haodong looking to catch anything on the way out that he can. He will find one.
This is no problem.
That's all he'll get. Heretics get to 9, and the attempt at a bonus, the possibility of one is gone.
Yeah, EDG did a really good job into this round of, you know, bringing it back and getting a lot of the guns out and armor. now, you know, the buy from Heretics is kind of scrappy. We're seeing a Bulldog out of Rians. Here's the nice trading onto the actual site when the hit came for Heretics. But Kong, I mean, he got in that site, and if this keeps happening in the future, maybe when he has a Vandal that can one-shot headshot, that's a completely different round. Maybe EDG take that round. It will be another 3-2 setup for EDG. They're opting to play really far back, and oh my gosh, speaking of an op.
The op in the hands of Kong.
And he's easily one of the best oppers in the game. Smoggy here, he played this round, he played that spot last round, and it's all to set up Kong here with the operator.
Again, and now he's holding the line. He took the game by storm with this weapon. Can he connect again? Yes. Not able to satchel away, though, as Rians puts him down. Heretics with a numbers advantage and space to be gained on the site. Smoggy close by, Chichu as well. Kept back by the smokes. The tags through. They might try to wrap around him.
They might find a window of opportunity here on this wrap around. I mean, right now, Boo is not ready here at all, but
drops the smoke to cross.
Speak of the devil, but if they just face check this, they still might find the timing.
There's no way to expect that. That's what they'll be. If they don't make any noise, Rians is looking that way. And he drops the first. That shot was so clean. Chichu in a 1v4. He's now standing up to that.
And the trading from Rians onto Kong in this round, that was ridiculous. Mid-satchel, he insta'd Kong. And, I mean, that operator entry, that was beautiful. Tries to satchel out. I mean, look at this. He's stunned. Oh, my gosh.
It barely left his feet.
He's so quick. And then he closes it out with this.
This was really nice by Rians. I mean, we talked so much about how that double late wrap into elbow could have been disaster if Rians isn't looking that way. There's so much value found.
And a lot of that was off of Woot actually taking that space in CT.
Right.
They don't have to worry about lane whatsoever because the Cypher cam's there from Benji Fishy. Where else are the players?
Right.
This time around for Heretics, a very quick A default.
To get Woot that showstopper, you're right.
I like that play from EDG. The last couple rounds that Heretics have gone A, they've kind of been in that elbow area. So that was kind of a read that EDG thought they had, but this time around, Heretics, they tap the orb there and they just wait and pause, waiting for a trap play.
And then when they do commit, EDG aren't able to funnel in behind it quickly enough. A little bit slow on the draw.
The rotation was perfect for Heretics. This is a really nicely round, a really nicely called to the round.
Hadtech invests his ult. Howdong's utility is not going to be a factor here. And they can just run him down or at least try to. He will fall. Every single member of EDG has met their demise so far. Kong and Nobody, the only two that remain, approaching the site from opposite sides.
I mean, just look at the mini-map, how together of this Deathball Heretics is. Entering the site, you have to fight 2-3 people in front of you with gun disadvantage and utility flooding you. And then they all get out together.
Right, and then if you somehow win those, you're going to have to deal with the rest. A miserable spot to be in. The tap of the spike, drawing out action.
Flawless.
But when you have that big of an advantage, it just looks easy. A flawless round for Heretics as they get up to 11.
Good discipline from Heretics. Even at the end there, using utility to fight the last two players, not dropping guns. I mean,
honestly, in a 5v3 there, you don't necessarily have to be disciplined, right? You think, all right, we're able to clean this up, but they play that really well.
That'll seep into the minds of EDG, not only on this map, but future maps when Heretics are on post plants. And it can be so hard to play against a team that is like that. It kind of feels like you can't really do anything.
Right.
If you force the issue, you're just going to get met by 2-3 players in a crossfire.
This is aggressive out for Woot, the satchels, but it's actually Kong who invested his ult on the other side. He's going to find plenty of space B. Now it's Woot's turn to try some of the same. The ult not connecting. Both rockets traded. No kills found. Heretics pushing forward, but you've got a lot of presence here. Chichu's just playing on the other side of the smoke. He will fall as Benji Fishy goes backside. But Smoggy on the counter. Smoggy on the punch. 3 found. But Benji Fishy closes it out. Heretics get to map point.
It's again Heretics fighting together on the site. This time they get delayed by an Omen smoke on default. But Rians with that Sova drone, I mean, it just goes straight through the smoke. That gives the confidence to Woot and Patty Tack to just run through and just trade out. And the aggressive trip from Benji Fishy as well onto that market area. Yeah, Smoggy gets this third kill after that trip connects, but it's so hard to do more off of that.
I mean, he did everything he could.
My trip bombed the
What did he say?
They're getting really good at censoring them so far.
Yeah, they are. Another quick B default. I mean, if it ain't broken, don't fix it.
But meanwhile, on the other side, EDG again took aggressive space A at the beginning, a paranoia and a satchel out. Nothing to be found, though.
What? Haodong tried to take things into his own hands there and just face check that smoke. But now, that Cypher ult's gonna give full info.
They're all here and they know it, but they might try to hit it anyway. Trying to get a crossover to market. Wood with the fadeaway shot. They're just not missing right now.
I mean, you can't make it up. What was that?
Thrash will connect onto re-ends, nobody falls. Smoggy will too. Dominant from beginning to end for Heretics. 13-6.
I mean, EDG did do better than the previous two teams. They got 6 rounds, but
yeah. But I think it was like 3 rounds and 4 rounds, now 6. It's been ugly. We'll see if Split tells a different story on the other side of this break.
Let's go!
Still warm. That's the way I like it as well.